Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching, then welcome. If you like this video, then please do consider subscribing to my channel if you'd like to see some more, of course. Every little bit helps, and it definitely helps keep me motivated to continue to create content for you guys. So yeah, today I'm going to be showing you how to do this everyday eyeshadow look using the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson Conspiracy Palette. It has been quite a while since I last did a look using my Conspiracy palette, well, that I posted anyway, and I know that there is still a lot of people looking for tutorials using this palette, so I thought I would film another one, and I will be filming a lot more using my Conspiracy palette and also my Jawbreaker palette, which I know that there is a lot of demand for. Obviously the lipstick is more of a nighttime lipstick, but you know, you can switch it up and use whatever colour you like, and I would wear this every day, so who knows, maybe one of you guys would too. But yeah, let's get on into the tutorial. So if you would like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. Okay, face makeup, eyebrows, eyeshadow base. Now because I'm using neutral colours, I'm using concealer as my eyeshadow base, and the reason for this is I'm not really worried about the pigment not showing up as much, and the base is going to kind of be similar to the eyeshadow colours that I'm applying anyway. So I'm using concealer. You can use whatever type of base you want, but yeah, a base is crucial. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the transition shade, and I've kind of stopped doing this recently. Usually I'll start from, you know, the darkest shade and work my way to the lightest shade, but because it's a neutral look and it's like an everyday look, I'm going to start with the transition shade. So taking my Conspiracy palette, I'm going to go in with this shade here called Tanacon and a fluffy highlighting brush, and I'm applying this to the crease, obviously as the transition color. I'm just applying a small amount so that we can blend that out and we can keep building up the color until, you know, we're happy with the color. And I'm just applying this in little circular motions to keep the edges nice and blended out, and just working my way across the crease and getting that color nice and pigmented so that we can move on to the next shade. So that is the transition shade down, and we've got a nice looking base for our crease. And what we're going to do is we're going to darken that up. So I'm taking a domed crease brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade here called Diet Root Beer, and I'm basically applying that in the same place where I applied Tanacon, but I'm not going to bring it up as high. I'm going to focus this mainly in the crease, but blending slightly up into the transition shade as well, so that we can get a nice even blend and it looks like almost like it's the same color, you know. I'm applying this in circular motions as well, and I'm also going to go back with the blending brush, and I'm going to use that to blend those colors together as well. I'm also going to bring this into the outer corner of the eye just to deepen up the crease, and that's going to give our eye a bit of dimension and make it look a bit more 3D as opposed to flat and two-dimensional. And also building up the color as well once again, so you don't want to be too heavy on the pigment for your first application, because then it's going to be harder to blend. Okay, so if we just quickly compare the eye that we've just done to the other eye, you can see it really has added a lot more dimension and just shape to the eye really. And you can see, like I was saying before, it almost does look like the same color that's just been blended, and that's really what we want to achieve with using a transition shade in a neutral look anyway. And because I applied that darker shade using the little circular motions, that meant that I really didn't need to blend it out using the blending brush. I just kind of gave it a once over just to make sure it was all blended, but there really wasn't much need for that. So really the first application is quite important, because it kind of dictates how the rest of the look is going to go and how much work you're going to need to put into it. So I'm just going to quickly do the other eye, and then I'll be back to do the next step. Okay, so that is the crease done. It really is quite a simple look. There's not that many steps. I absolutely love these neutral shades from the Conspiracy palette. I love the fact that they've kind of got that warm, caramelly kind of tone to it, and it really, really accentuates blue eyes, which I have blue eyes, so obviously I love these shades. The warmness kind of contrasts with the coolness, if you will, of the blue, and it really makes it stand out. So if you have blue eyes, then definitely give this a go. You will be shocked at how amazing your eyes look. Now, the next step that we're going to do is apply some color to the eyelid. So I'm going to be taking an all over shader brush. I'm going to spray my brush with water. I use a little MAC Fix Plus bottle that I refilled with water because I just think it sprays really nicely. It's like a fine mist, so you don't want your brush to be too wet, but just wet enough. So you have to like figure it out for yourself, I guess. I always do one spray one side, flip it over and do the other side, and then I kind of like wipe it off like that so that you don't have the excess drops that are going to fall off into your palette. The reason that I wet the brush is because that's going to pick up more pigment off the eyeshadow, especially when using a shimmer eyeshadow, which I'm going to be doing. It really helps to make that more like opaque and just really pigmented, and it's going to help with covering up any of the darkness that we've got on the eyelid from the crease colors, and you can almost like carve out a crease when you've got a wet brush. So yeah, it's a really good way to get your eyeshadows just to pop that a little bit more. So I'm going to take the shade here called Just a Theory, and like I said, I'm wetting the brush and I'm going to apply this to the eyelid. You don't want to bring it up too high because then the reflectiveness of the eyeshadow, it's going to remove that deepness that we've got in the crease, but we really want that to be dark so that it has that dimension. And yeah, and you're going to get that kind of shadow in the crease, which is what we want. This is kind of like eye contouring, if you will. And I'm bringing this out almost to where I've got that dark brown, but I'm just going to leave the slightest gap so that I can blend Tanacon, the transition shade, into those two shades and get those colors really blended nicely. Okay, so now that the top of the eye is complete, obviously we're moving to the under eye, and I'm going to apply Tanacon first as the transition shade. I don't want to use that same brush because using a large fluffy blending brush like that is going to bring the color too far down onto the cheekbone. So I'm taking a large angled eyeshadow brush. This is still quite fluffy, and I'm using that to apply Tanacon first to the under eye area. And then I'm going to go back in with that same domed crease brush that I used for Diet Root Beer, and I'm going to use that to apply that on top. Once I've done that, I'm just going to go back over using that angled brush and just use that to help blend the two shades together. Next, I'm going to add some liner to my waterline, and I want to use a very similar color to the eyeshadow color. So I'm taking a lip liner and I'm using my MAC lip pencil in the shade Spice, and yeah, just applying this to my waterline. Alright, and the last step for the eyes is to apply highlight, and I'm actually going to use the same highlight for my eyes and for my face. So I'm going to use two different brushes, the fluffy highlighting brush for my face and the small pencil brush for around my eyes. And I'm going to take this shade here called Ranch. So I'm applying that to my tear duct area, my brow bone, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my cheekbones. Okay, so that is the eyes complete. So I'm going to move on to lipstick. And because I've got a neutral eye look, I could go a little bit more crazy with my lipstick. Normally, if you've been watching my videos in the past, you know that I always wear nude lipstick. And that's mainly because I use a lot of colourful eyeshadow and I don't want to overpower that. But now that I've got a bit of a neutral look going on, I can finally branch out a little bit. So I'm going to be taking my MAC lipstick in the shade Diva, and I'm going to also apply a lip liner. So I'm taking my NYX retractable lip liner in the shade Plum. Plum/Prune. I think that's hilarious. So I'm assuming the second word is like the French like translation of plum, and I just think that's hilarious that the French word for plum is prune when they're like two different things that are made from plums. Hang on, let me just fact check this. Yeah, it's prune. Wow, that's hilarious. Well, I think that's hilarious anyway. I'm applying the lip liner first, And I'm just going to kind of do the edges of my lips because it is such a similar colour to the lipstick that I don't really need to cover the whole lip with it. I just tried to put that cap on that lip liner. So just doing the edges of the top and the bottom lip, and then just applying the lipstick all over the lip. Okay, so obviously that lipstick is quite dark and not really an everyday type of lipstick, but I would definitely wear this as an everyday look. But you can obviously swap the lipstick out for any shade that you please. Probably a nude or a light pink would go really nicely for an everyday look, but I'm trying to branch out and not use so much nude lipstick, so hence why I'm using a really dark red kind of one. Can you even English? Now the last thing left to do is of course to apply mascara and lashes. So I'm going to be using my XO Beauty Foam Ink lashes. These are in the style Fantasy. I'm going to pop these on off camera and then I'll be back to show you guys a completed look. Okay, so here we have the completed look with lashes. I said it before, but I absolutely love the neutral colours in the Conspiracy palette. I definitely would wear this look every day, if I had a reason to, if I was leaving the house. I love it paired with the red lip or the dark burgundy prune lip. It just kicks it up a notch. It's probably a bit more of an evening kind of colour, but I really love it and I would wear it every day. But obviously, like I said before, you can wear whatever lipstick you like. The main point is the eyes. Obviously, I love to do eye makeup tutorials and the lipstick is kind of just a little thing on the side. Obviously, I don't do the kind of everyday makeup look tutorials very often, so let me know down below what you thought of this tutorial. Would you like to see some more everyday looks? Do you prefer my other stuff with the colours and the craziness? Yeah, I really want to know what you guys want to see, because obviously I'm here to share my knowledge and I want to help any way that I can. So I always love when people request things, because then I know that I'm actually, you know, hitting the nail on the head. Is that the saying? Hitting the nail on the head with the hammer? But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please thumbs up and subscribe and tick that little bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in the next one.